How I made $15,000 in 30 days. Growing up, a lot of friends and family members didn't understand how money works. I'm talking about taxes, credit, saving, investing. They had no clue about any of that stuff. It was just work, come home, pay the bills, that's it. I was fortunate enough, my mom taught me about saving and protecting my credit. As I got older, I started to venture into more things when it came around learning about money. For example, taxes. I went to school for accounting and finance, and I learned about taxes. A light bulb went off for me, and I said, maybe I can turn this into a business and start doing people's taxes. So that's what I did throughout college. I started doing people's taxes. And when I started learning about the tax code and the different types of ways that you can get back money from taxes, a lot of people didn't know this stuff. And it was very shocking for me. Later on in my years, I opened up a car dealership. And when I was taking applications to get people approved for cars, a lot of people didn't even know their credit score. And their credit was in bad shape. So I said to myself, how come so many people don't know about this information? I thought this was information everybody knew. Unfortunately, common sense isn't common. And I said to myself, how can I educate these people to learn about all this stuff that I knew? The older I got, the more I learned, and the information gap just kept getting bigger and bigger. And a lot of people didn't know this information. So I said to myself, I need to figure out a way that I could get to the masses. But during that time, I wasn't thinking about YouTube. I know you're like, why didn't you just do YouTube? At the time, YouTube wasn't a big thing. One day, my friend was having a book launch, his autobiography. And when he wrote his book, I was like, bro, how'd you write this? He's like, yo, it was simple. I got an editor, just we sat down and, they put the book together for me. So I was like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. I want to write a book too. I went home, I was so excited, and I had no idea. At that time, it didn't click to me to do financial literacy and put it in a book. So 3 years passed by. Yeah, I know, very long time later. 3 years passed by, and I was scrolling on Instagram and just doing a regular swipe, 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 swipe. And I came across this guy. He was doing an interview, and he was talking how he published a book, and he said, "Record it." And I was like, "Record it?" He's like, "Yeah, just talk about your book into an app and then transcribe it." And I was like, "Transcribe it?" I was like, "What is this guy talking about?" But the moment he said that, a light bulb just went off in my head, and I was like, there's my answer. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a book about financial literacy. So I took down all the notes that I just had in my brain, put it on paper, and said, all right, this is all the information that I think people should know. And then I tested it out. I interviewed two people. And when I interviewed them, it was like a can of worms just opened. Like so much information that they didn't know was just unraveling itself. So I said, all right, perfect. So this is what I'm going to use. I'm going to use this information to put in a book so everybody can know about saving, investing, credit, financial planning. If you want to put it under one umbrella, financial literacy. So now that I had the idea, I went from writing down my notes, then doing the interview for these two people. I said, all right, perfect. What's the next thing I can do? Now, me, I grew up dyslexic. I hated writing. I hated reading. So I said, how am I going to get this information into a book? Luckily, there's a thing called Upwork. I went on there, I found a freelancer that does editing. So I was like, hey, I have the audio and the transcription of my conversation. Can you turn this into a book? And she said, yes. I was like, yes, I finally found the answer. I was so happy. So now I worked out a contract with her. I gave her all the information. Within about a month's time, she came back with my first draft. I was so happy that I finally seen my idea coming to life. Like now I had the edited version. I linked up with two friends and they helped me build this book. So one of my friends is now my business partner and we created a company all around this book. My other friend, he was just a whiz at finding people on Fiverr.com. He found somebody to create the book cover for me. We also got the barcode. Everything was done. Like literally, I didn't wait till finding out how to do things. It was just, what's the next thing that I need? What's the next thing? And as I kept doing that, if I hit a roadblock, I found a solution for it. So it went from finding the book cover to getting a barcode to the copyright. I got all that done all on my own. It did take me a while, maybe about 6 months to get it going. But the thing is, I learned the whole process from A to Z. So now I can bang out books in like less than a week, like boom, like this. I wrote like 5, 6 other books just off the strength of me figuring it out as I went along. Instead of just reading, watching stuff, taking notes, waiting till I learn everything and then trying to apply it. That's a wrong approach sometimes. Sometimes you just got to get your feet going and just keep moving. So once I did that, I got the book together and I was like, all right, it's finally ready to release. Now I didn't have any books, but I had the soft copy. So what I did was I found somebody to create a website for me. I got someone to run some Facebook ads. And then I pitched the book to a few investors and said, hey, I'm writing a book. Would you like to invest in helping me print some copies? So they said, okay. So what I did was I took some money, did a bulk order, got them printed, and then you know what I did? Before even turning on the Facebook ads, I reached out to my contact list. I had about 600 people on my contact list. I went to social media and I just wrote a very long, heartful message about the book that I'm releasing, and I just blasted it out to everybody. On my first day, I made 50 sales. Like, I couldn't even believe it. I was just like, oh my goodness. Like, I was just so happy that like the response that people were actually purchasing my book like right on the spot. Like my face just went zoop. So lo and behold, within that first month, I just kept messaging people, posting on social media. Then I started running the ads. By the end of the month, so between July 1st to July 31st, I made $15,000. I couldn't believe it. And it was all because I had an idea and I believed in what I was trying to do. Imagine if you put your mind to something, what you could do. Maybe you don't have the idea to write a book, but maybe you have an idea to create an app. Or maybe you're good at using a 3D printer. Whatever it is, if you're passionate about something, you will be able to make sales from it. You just got to buckle down and make sure you go from A to Z in creating your product and then put it out to the masses. If your mouth is not open, therefore, people will not know your store is open. So, whatever it is that you want to do, start doing it today. Don't wait. Don't turn on the TV to watch something on YouTube or look on your phone, read a book. If you have the idea, start by writing it down. This is my idea. This is what I'm going to do. Just start brainstorming. Whatever comes to mind, just throw it down on paper. The moment you have it on paper, start structuring it. You get a structure together. Now you say, okay, let's go back to the book. I had the idea. I said, okay, what's next? I wrote it down. What did I do after? I took that information and I applied it. I did an interview with somebody. I interviewed them. I got it. I recorded it. Then I transcribed it. I found an editor. The editor took it, fixed it up, made it what it is into a book format. I was like, perfect. Found somebody to do the graphics, found somebody to do the barcode, got a website created, got the ads running, and then I just started curating content on my own to get it out there. Once I had all that done, there it was. My book was done, ready to give to people. Orders coming in, left, right, and center. Today, that book is still making me money. And I only had to create that item once. Imagine what you could do if you created something once and put it out to the masses. Now, I'm encouraging you, whatever it is that you want to do, start writing it on paper and get going. You will be amazed at what you can do when you put your mind to something. If you found value in this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button and check out Whiteboard Wednesdays, where I do a bunch of different explanations on things to help you scale your business, grow your income, and buy back your time.